Yeah, ayy, yeah, ayy, ayy, yeah, ayy, ayy, ayy.
That's it,
Face plant, yeah. I need love, I need drugs, I need savior. My niggas, I got blood on my hands, yo. I might up there eat a truck on my fucking fans, ayy. Yo, fuck, I'm up white, Johnny K, I might lose my mind, I can't never love a bitch, ayy.
Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be part 3 of What If Naruto Faked His Death. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you all for the support I've been getting on this series. It's a really fun one to make. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. Killer Bee said, "I still don't believe you," and Hiruzen said, "Do you really want to risk going back and getting killed?" Killer Bee said, "No, I don't want to, but I still don't think that they would do that." Then Hiruzen let the Jinchurikis leave the Hokage's office, and they just walked around the village. The villagers seen Naruto, and they were all confused, because they thought that Naruto was dead. When Shikamaru seen Naruto, he rushed over to him and pulled him into a hug. He said, "Don't scare me like that again. I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean it. My dad said if I hung out with you, I would be kicked out of the house, and I would be homeless." Then Naruto said, "It's okay. I have friends now," and he pointed to the people behind him. Shikamaru said, "Who are they?" And Naruto said, "They are Jinchurikis, just like me." And Shikamaru's eyes widened and he said, "We have all 9-tailed beasts here?" Then Naruto said, "Yes. Is it bad?" And Shikamaru said, "Not at all." Then Naruto told Shikamaru what he did. And Shikamaru said, "I'm sorry for pushing you too far. Do you forgive me?" Naruto said, "Yeah, I forgive you. Honestly, I needed to get out of the village anyways. I had to get more confidence, and I needed to be by myself for a while." Back at the Hokage's office, Hiruzen said to Jiraiya, "So what are you going to do now, Jiraiya?" And Jiraiya said, "I'm going to stay here for a little while longer. I think I'm going to try to train this little kid like I did his father." And Hiruzen said, "Oh yeah, that's right. You did train Minato, didn't you?" And Jiraiya said, "Yes. He was my best student." And Hiruzen said, "Are you going to take him to Mount Myoboku?" Jiraiya said, "Yeah. Probably. I'm probably going to take him up there. And I'm going to teach him Sage Mode. And I'm going to get rid of that seal so he can take full advantage of Kurama's chakra." Then Hiruzen said, "What are we going to do with the other Jinchurikis?" And Jiraiya said, "Keep them here and treat them good, so they don't revolt against the village, like they were going to." Then Hiruzen said, "Okay," and Jiraiya left to get Naruto. When Jiraiya found Naruto, he said, "Come with me, Naruto." Naruto said, "Why am I coming with you?" And Jiraiya said, "I'm going to train you." Naruto said, "Why would I let you train me?" And Jiraiya said, "I'm going to train you just like I trained your father." Naruto said, "There's no way you trained my father." And Jiraiya said, "Yes, I trained your father, Minato Namikaze. He was the best student I ever had. And he had a very big amount of potential. And I see some of his potential in you, Naruto." Naruto then looked up at Jiraiya and said, "Do you really?" And Jiraiya said, "Yes, you have so much potential. So will you come up to Mount Myoboku with me so I can train you, just teach you Sage Mode just like I did for your father?" Then Naruto said, "Okay, let's do it." They headed off on their way to Mount Myoboku. They felt as if they were being trailed, so Jiraiya told Naruto, "Someone is following us, so let's pretend like we're setting up a camp for the night. And when they come after us, we can get them, since they will think we are asleep. So use your shadow clone jutsu and make it look like the clone is sleeping, while we hide out." So Naruto used his shadow clone and made it lay down, and so did Jiraiya. Then they just waited up in a tree. After a while, they seen 2 Akatsuki members, Deidara and Hidan. They walked up to the place where Jiraiya and Naruto were sleeping, and just when they were about to grab them, the shadow clones disappeared. Naruto and Jiraiya jumped down on top of them. Jiraiya used a Rasengan and put it through Hidan's chest, and Naruto used a tailed beast bomb and hit Deidara in the head with it. Deidara died, but Hidan just stood there with a hole in his chest and said, "I'm immortal. You can't kill me." So Jiraiya used another Rasengan and put it on Hidan's head, and it broke his neck. Then Jiraiya pushed him down and they ran. When they arrived at Mount Myoboku, Naruto asked Jiraiya, "How did he not die? You put a Rasengan straight through his chest." And Jiraiya said, "That's Hidan of the Akatsuki. He's immortal. We would have to bury him to get rid of him." Then Naruto said, "Are we at the place we were traveling to yet?" And Jiraiya said, "Yes, we are here. This is Mount Myoboku. I need to introduce you to Ma and Pa." Then Naruto said, "Your parents are here?" Then two toads hopped onto Jiraiya's shoulders. And Naruto said, "Your parents are toads." And Jiraiya said, "No, they aren't my parents. They're some of my toad summonings, and they're going to help me train you to use Sage Mode." Naruto said, "Okay, this shouldn't be too hard. I mastered the Rasengan in 3 days, so this should be a piece of cake." Then Jiraiya laughed and said, "Oh yeah, watch that guy over there." There was a guy sitting still. Naruto said, "Why am I watching someone sit still?" And Jiraiya said, "He's doing the Sage Mode training." Then Naruto noticed the guy was turning into stone. And he said, "What is happening to him?" And Jiraiya said, "If you absorb too much nature energy, you turn into a stone. Just like that guy. So are you sure this is going to be as easy as you think?" Naruto looked around nervously and said, "Maybe not as easy as I thought, but I can still do it." Then Jiraiya said, "Oh, one more thing before we start." Naruto said, "What is it?" Jiraiya said, "Get rid of that seal that is restricting the Nine Tails from giving you too much chakra." Naruto said, "Okay," and he went to where Kurama was. And he said, "Hey Fox, I'm going to take off the seal." And Kurama said, "So you want to use my chakra more freely?" Naruto said, "Yes." So Kurama said, "Then go ahead, take off the seal." Naruto took off the seal and felt power he had never felt before. Then he said to Jiraiya, "I feel stronger already." And Jiraiya said, "That's because you're not being restricted from your power anymore." Then Jiraiya said, "Now let's get to training you to use Sage Mode." Then Jiraiya told Naruto to sit completely still and absorb nature energy. He sat there and didn't feel anything happening. So Jiraiya gave Naruto some toad oil to help him absorb some nature energy. Then they tried again. This time Naruto felt it happening. He got excited and stood up, and he lost all the nature energy he had. Then Jiraiya said, "Do it again, but when you get up, make sure to control it so it doesn't go away." So Naruto sat there and absorbed more nature energy, and this time when he stood up, he controlled it and noticed that he could sense everyone's chakra. And then Jiraiya told Naruto to punch a wall. Naruto did, but as soon as he hit the wall, it crumbled. Naruto said, "Is all this power from the nature energy?" And Jiraiya said, "Yes, the Sage Mode lets you sense chakra and boost your strength." Then Naruto said, "What else can I learn?" Then Jiraiya said, "You have to master this first." So Naruto continues doing this for a month, and every day he got better at it, and on the last day he was able to keep the nature energy for as long as he wanted. Then Jiraiya told Naruto it was time to teach him how to summon toads. On Naruto's first try, he couldn't summon anything. Then Jiraiya said, "You have to sign a contract with the toads first." And Naruto said, "Okay, how do I do that?" And Jiraiya pulled out a scroll and laid it on the ground. And he said, "Mark it with your blood here." So Naruto did it, and then Jiraiya said, "Now try it." Naruto tried it again, and this time he summoned a small toad. And the toad said, "Hi, my name is Gamakichi." And Naruto said, "Hi, I'm Naruto. Are you one of my summoning toads?" And Gamakichi said, "I'm one of them. The other is my dad, Gamabunta. Try summoning him." So Naruto said, "Okay," and tried again. When he did it this time, the ground shook, and a giant toad appeared in front of Naruto. And it said, "Why am I getting summoned by this little brat? Or did you summon me, Jiraiya?" Then Jiraiya said, "The kid summoned you. I am training him to be a toad sage." Gamabunta said, "Well, don't summon me for his training." And Naruto said, "What can I do to get you to train me?" Gamabunta said, "If you can keep your balance on me and gather nature energy while being on my back, then I will train you." And Naruto said, "Okay," and he climbed on top of Gamabunta. Then Gamabunta jumped into the air. When he landed, Naruto was still balanced on his back. Then Gamabunta jumped around even more, but he couldn't shake off Naruto. So he went over to Jiraiya and said, "This kid might be more skilled than you." And Jiraiya said, "Shut up and help me train the kid." And Gamabunta said, "I have one more thing I have to try." And Jiraiya said, "No, you almost killed me that time you did it with me." And then Naruto said, "Give me your worst. I can handle it." Then Gamabunta jumped into the water with Naruto on his back, and they just sunk down to the bottom and stayed there. Then Gamabunta said to Naruto, "If you can get me and yourself out of here, kid, then I'll help you." So Naruto jumped off of Gamabunta and grabbed him. Then he threw him out of the water. Then Naruto swam out. And when he reached the surface, Gamabunta said, "Good job, kid. You held your nature energies long enough to be able to launch me out of the water. You pass." This is where I'm going to leave off part 3. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that noti bell so you don't miss part 4. Comment what you thought about the video. And as always, I hope all of you guys have a great day. Peace out.